Ariana Dumbledore, how are you?
Adam Fourth Dumbledore, how are you, my darling? How are you?
I'm here. I'm alive.
Girl, that is the correct answer right now. We are here. We are alive.
The fucking federal government has infiltrated
persist.
Chicago. They're just terrorizing our streets. It's a nightmare.
Yeah.
No, it's not good, but
yeah.
How are you? How are things?
Things are okay. I mean, there's obviously like stupid shit over here in the UK as well. Of like, it definitely is being influenced from the Trumpers and like those people.
Well, Ari, we're here this week to talk about Chapter 30, the chapter we read of the book Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows.
Oh, yes, I know her.
I've heard of her.
I've heard of her.
So this week we read Chapter 30, which is called The Sacking of Severus Snape, which is weird because I don't consider this a sacking of Severus Snape.
No, that's not what happens. It's
very weird.
They literally were like, whatever you want, we're going to just say yes.
Did you notice I went and got my book just now?
Yeah.
While you were like telling me that story? It's because I like went to go write the chapter names in.
Did I notice?
And I was like,
no,
I was like, that can't be the name of this chapter. That has to be wrong. Because like, what a strange name for this chapter.
Yeah, I know. It's not correct. Sorry, that was so funny to me that you were like, did you notice that I went and got my book? Yeah, girl.
Well, I didn't know. Well, because I also got a drink, so I didn't know if you didn't see the book or not.
No, I saw your book. Yes, that was so funny. Okay. Like, I was just like not looking at you as I'm talking, just like looking down.
It's a weird chapter name. But Ari, what happens in this chapter?
So in
not
this
the
chapter,
sacking of Severus Snape. That's what I can tell you doesn't happen.
So in this chapter, Harry reveals himself to I almost said almost all the heads of houses, but Snape isn't a head of house anymore. So Harry reveals himself to all four of the heads of houses and basically brings them up to speed, specifically Minerva, up to speed on what needs to be done. And Percy's back.
Percy.
I feel like
Percy
that really
deserves
to be mentioned, even though
it deserves a moment for sure.
It deserves to be acknowledged. So also, sorry, listeners, I'm a little under the weather right now. So if I sound congested, I don't know if sometimes when you're congested, you can hear it, but other people can't. But I'm sorry, because I know that's kind of yucky. Anyways, the chapter opens with Harry getting a vision of Voldemort being summoned by the dark mark that has been pressed by Alecto. Luna is able to stun Alecto, and so she just like is totally knocked out. And so
Luna's still under the cloak, by the way.
Yeah. Does she pop out after that? I can't remember now.
No, because Harry has to say like, Luna, where are you? I need to get under the cloak.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I forgot about that. That's so funny. So she knocks her out, and then she's like, "Oh, I've never actually really stunned anyone. How pleasant to actually get to do this in real life." Like she's just like, "Oh wow, look at that." So Harry's like, they hear the Ravenclaws like kind of rustling up. I'm guessing upstairs, coming down from the common room.
Yeah.
Yes, it's similar to Gryffindor.
Dormitories. Kind of.
Yeah. This is the moment when Harry's like, "Luna, where are you? I need to get back under the cloak." So she gestures to Harry to get under the cloak. They both are under the cloak again when the Ravenclaws come down. They spot Alecto on the floor, and they're like loving it. And Luna's like loving that they're loving it. She's like, "Oh yay, they're pleased." It's like when you see like just like some little cute little animals. It's like, "Aw, bless him. Look at him."
Yeah.
It's like so cute.
It's very interesting.
Yeah.
There's like kid who kicks Alecto with his like toe on her butt.
Yeah.
That was funny.
Because they don't really know if she's like dead, I guess technically, you know what I mean? They're kind of like, what is she doing here? So Amicus shows up and he's like pounding on the common room door to try and get in. He's too stupid to answer the riddle, basically.
He can't do the riddle.
He's not a Ravenclaw, obviously. He's got no brains.
Clearly not.
So he's stuck outside. And then at some point during this, Harry is pulled back into Voldemort's mind. And he sees him deciding to continue with checking on the locket Horcrux before coming to Hogwarts. So he's like, okay, they have the boy. I'm going to go check on this before I show up to the castle and get that boy. That boy is mine. That's what he's singing.
That boy. Wait, what's that song? That boy.
The boy is mine. Isn't it by Monica? Yeah.
Brandy and Monica.
Oh, Brandy and Monica. Harry is like, okay, great. This kind of gives us a bit more time because he's going to go check on that other Horcrux. He's like, swell. So none other than our beloved Minerva McGonagall shows up. And I'm going to talk about McGonagall a lot because this is obviously our last book with all of these characters, but specifically with Minerva McGonagall, who is our girl.
Yeah. This is kind of her last tour de force.
Yeah. I don't think we really get much more of her after this in the book. And she's iconic in this chapter. So she goes out a legend. Not actually goes out, obviously.
She finishes the series.
Yeah, she finishes the series. Thank you, Adam. Yes. So Minnie shows up, answers the knocker properly in the way that it needs to be engaged with, because obviously she is incredibly intelligent, as we all know very well. They're both able to come in then, thanks to Minnie.
Do you think all the heads of house also know? Like, do you think that like she also knows what Slytherin's password is?
I didn't think about this, not when I was reading this today, but like previously, and I feel like there has to be some type of, in an emergency situation, they all have to know how to get into each common room just in case, especially after like Voldemort's taken over. Or like Snape's taken over through Voldemort, that it's like, you know, they got to have like an undercover little op, the other heads of houses, to be like, we got to make sure the kids are safe. Which is, I think, why she showed up. I think there must be something in terms of why she knew something was going on, you know, because they just don't trust the... What are they?
Carrows.
What's their last name again? Carrows.
Carrow.
They don't trust the Carrows, obviously. They're worried about the kids. So the kids that have come down to look at Electo hear Amicus about to come in, and they've like all like shuffled back upstairs because they don't want to get in trouble. Amicus comes into the common room with Minerva, obviously sees his stunned sister just like sprawled out on the floor. Does not see Harry and Luna because they're under the cloak. And so he kind of just initially panics and he's like, oh, they've killed her. Like, the children of Hogwarts.
Wait, there were words that he was saying that I was like, is this supposed to be in like a specific? I mean, I know you aren't as versed in the dialects yet of the UK, but there were like words that he would
shed some light on.
So he said, she ain't answering, you old besom. You open it. Garn, do it now. Garn, which I'm assuming is like a conjunction of go on.
Yeah.
I didn't know what besom was.
Garn.
I'm going to look it up.
No, never heard that word. No.
Well, it's a broom made of twigs tied around a stick. But in Scottish, it's term of contempt for a person, especially a woman.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So the Carrows must be Scottish.
Shut up, you broom.
Yo, broom.
You old broom. So yeah, he's like, they killed my sister. She's dead. And Minerva's like, she's just stunned. So chill out. And then he just immediately starts panicking about Voldemort punishing him in particular. So he's like, I've got this figured out. We're going to blame the Ravenclaw students for setting off the false alarm. We're going to say these children forced her to press the wand, her dark mark. They were like, do it! The one that kicked her in the bum was like, you have to summon the Dark Lord.
Yeah. Also, as if they know that that's how it works.
They probably don't even know what a dark mark is. Think about it. These kids were born with no. It's like trying to explain to someone that was born in like 2003, like what a flip phone was. They'd be like, what? Why did it flip?
Correct.
Like they would literally look at us like we're great. They'll never understand the excitement of us in middle school getting a razor is our first cell phone.
Through.
Anyone?
They'll never know.
Just me? I had a razor, a navy blue razor is my first cell phone. I'm trying to think what else. I think at one point I briefly had a pink one, maybe? Do you remember what your first cell phone was? What was your first cell phone?
I never had a razor. I was always jealous of people who had razors. I never had a razor.
They broke so easily though, Adam. So you did not,
they
like
did.
I had to replace it all the time.
I just had like a general flip phone that had like a little screen on the front that had like the time. And then one time I had, it was in like the pocket of the hoodie that I had, and I was doing something stupid in theater class, in the like theater classroom, and I like took my hoodie and I slammed it. Yes, with the stairs. I took my hoodie and I slammed it on the ground, and it broke the phone because I forgot it was in the hoodie.
Oh gosh!
And I was like, that was my first phone.
Anyway, back to the chapter. So Amicus is like, we're going to blame the Ravenclaw kids, and we're going to say they forced her to do it, and then hopefully Voldemort the Dark Lord, will only, like, kill a few of them instead.
Just a couple of the kids.
Yeah. And he was like, and we'll be like, you know, off scot-free, basically. And I was like, wow, what a piece of shit. And then McGonagall obviously is like, we are not doing that. That is not what we are doing. And then Amicus spits in her face.
It's crazy. It's such an insane choice.
And Harry loses it. But wow, does he lose it.
He does.
Harry...
I did not remember this at all.
Harry flips the invisibility cloak off, hits Amicus with the Cruciatus curse. Y'all, what are we doing? Like, literally any other spell would have
literally
worked
on the next page.
McGonagall
McGonagall is about to use Imperio, so I
made a note of that as well. That I was like, it's the Wild West out here, I guess. Like, just whatever.
Yeah.
So McGonagall is like completely shook that Harry is just popped out of thin air. Also shook when Luna reveals herself. And then she basically is trying to convince Harry to run, but he explains that he's looking for the Oh, sorry, I should say there is this line where Harry says, I understand what she means now, that you really have to mean it. And I was like, what was the point of this? Like, just what? That he was so, cause I'm like, cause McGonagall says like, that was very gallant of you. But I'm like, but again, we are using an unforgivable curse.
Yeah.
So
it's weird. I don't know how to square the circle. Like, I don't know how to frame it in my mind. I understand why. And I understand if the intent is like, well, we have to fight fire with fire. Like, we can't just be like, well, we have to be right about the spells we're using. Like, I think that's fine. But like,
and I hate that he spit in her face too. And I probably would also want to punch him, to be clear.
Totally. I'm fine with like, I mean, I'm not fine, but like, I understand McGonagall using Imperio, and I don't think Harry has to be a perfect, pure character. But like,
no.
I feel like you have so less room to walk. Like, you have little ground to stand on when you start.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's weird to me. because I also think like it could have been any spell. Yeah. And I think like I thought, to me, when I read the part in, is that 6? No, 5. In 5, when he tries to Crucio Bellatrix, and and it doesn't work because obviously like it doesn't work, and she makes fun of him. To me, that reads as the point of being like, not that Harry doesn't feel anger, but he doesn't feel this like venom that can like
in the
turn into dark magic, which is what that is. Like it is dark magic.
But like, it's like she set it up as like, that's why Harry is so good, because he's not like that malicious of a person. He doesn't have that like malicious intent. But here we are. So I was like, it's the whole like, but you set it up that way. It's the whole thing of like, oh, this all Slytherins aren't bad. You set it up, so that was the vibe. You did that. So you're setting it up that this is what makes Harry so different.
I do not remember how not Dumbledore. I don't remember how Voldemort dies. Like, I don't remember the exact how it happens. So at this point now I'm like, so he definitely has to say Avada Kedavra, right? Because like it's the last killing curse she's waiting to use. And now it feels like she's like checking them off the box to be like, look, Harry, it can be used for good. And I mean, I guess, but I think it's like more interesting if that wasn't. I don't know.
Yeah. We'll have to see. So she, she's trying to convince Harry to run. Minnie is, but he explains to her that he's looking. They're searching for this diadem, and they're doing it because Dumbledore told him to. So she's like, kind of brought around because he's there on Dumbledore's orders, obviously. So she promises that the teachers will kind of like take care of things with the school, to give him more time to search. So as this is happening, though, Harry is still kind of getting pulled back into Voldemort's mind, or like seeing things through Voldemort's eyes. And he sees him realizing the locket is missing. So now he's heading directly to Hogwarts, and he's pissed. Yeah. So it's going to be even worse when he gets here. So then Minerva Imperius's amicus. But nothing happens other than he just kind of like tidies up some things and gives them to her.
He gives them what is happening? He gives them their wands.
And then
he lays down next to
that's what it was. Okay, yeah. Lays down next to Electo.
Yeah. So then she can like bind them together.
Yeah. So Harry and Minerva quickly come up with a plan. They're going to alert the other heads of house, and then they're going to try and help any of the like really young students. Any student that isn't of age, they're going to help them get out via the Hog's Head. So then,
do you believe that Slughorn would still be a professor at this school? I know I'm jumping ahead a little bit. Do you think he wouldn't have left?
No, we're about to get to that. I think he probably still feels like Hogwarts is safer for him to be at because he was already there, like than like being on the run. Because he is the head of Slytherin house, so I think he's just kind of like, I guess I'll just stay here. Because if I try to run, then that'll be even worse for me.
Yeah. Okay. I'll buy that.
I'll buy that. So then they're like going throughout Hogwarts. Do you remember where they were aiming to? I can't remember exactly where they were just aiming to get to. Like, where was Harry? Because he doesn't know where he's going to look for the diadem really at this point. So I'm like, I don't know.
No, he's they leave. They put the cloak back on, and they follow McGonagall.
Right. Yeah.
And because he wants to talk to Flitwick.
Cloak. He wants to talk to Flitwick. Thank you. That's what it is. That's what gets them out of the common room. So they're going to find Flitwick somewhere in the castle. Him and Luna are under the cloak again. McGonagall sends out these like Patronus messengers. Patronuses.
She sends out a group chat.
Messengers. Yeah. to warn the other heads of houses that she's on her way. Harry and Luna stay under the cloak while they're in the hallway, obviously. So Snape suddenly shows up out of nowhere and obviously believes that Minerva is in the hall by herself because he can't see anyone. So the reason why he knows is because he obviously has a dark mark. And what he says is he was coming to check on Alecto after, like, she had reportedly abducted an intruder. So Snape is basically demanding that Minerva tell him if she's seen Harry Potter. She doesn't answer. She literally just essentially cuts him off by attacking him, and the two of them start dueling. And the duel sounds epic.
Do you think he doesn't know that Harry's there, or do you think he thinks he's there? Well,
I think he thinks that she has seen him for sure. I think he's like, she knows what's going on. I guess he does know that Harry has an invisibility cloak. Yeah. So he could have that thought of like, is he here right now?
I felt like he knew he was there, but this is it's his plausible deniability to ask no further questions about like where he, like, if he is there, then he has to actually do something about it. And if he doesn't know he's there, then he can just like keep playing the role that he's supposed to be playing.
Mm-hmm. Sure. Yeah. I think there was, now that you're saying that, I think there was a mention of Harry
it says
thinking that.
It says like he looked around McGonagall like he was looking to see if he could see anything else.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because he would know, he would have also been informed that like, because clearly Voldemort was like, he's going to try to get to Ravenclaw common room tonight. That's why Alecto was waiting for him in the first place.
Right, yeah.
And I think Snape would have obviously known that too.
Yeah. Yeah, he's in the, I think he says that he's like, oh, we were tipped off that he would try to get in to the common room tonight.
Amicus said that earlier, yeah.
Oh, Amicus did. Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, the duel is quite iconic. There's like magical daggers flying through the air at one point. The suit of armor comes alive. Like it's amazing. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So because the professors show up in the middle of this.
Yep. Yeah. Flitwick,
the heads of house
starts trying to help. Yeah.
Okay. This bothered me because I was like, you're skipping kind of something interesting. Okay, hold on. Not you, the book. Sorry.
It's okay.
To be clear. Minerva, said a squeaky voice, and looking behind him, still shielding Luna from flying spells, Harry saw Professor Flitwick and Sprout sprinting up the corridor toward them in their night clothes with the enormous Professor Slughorn panting along at the rear. No, squealed Flitwick, raising his wand. You'll do no more murder at Hogwarts. Flitwick's spell hit the suit of armor behind which Snape had taken shelter. With a clatter, it came to life. Snape struggled free of the crushing arms and sent it flying back toward its attackers. There's definitely a sentence missing of being like, the suit of armor rounded on Snape and started like choking him. Just there was something missing between like it came to life and Snape was wrenched free from its strong grip. Like I was like, well, though something happened in between those two things that you left out, Diva.
Yeah. Hello?
Yeah. I like, the best part is like, I will say, she very much tries to keep all the spells to what they do. So like all of Minerva's stuff is like transfiguring objects. And Flitwick's stuff is all like charming thing. Like I was like, oh, she like very pointedly kept it at that energy, which I did enjoy.
So yeah, Flitwick and Sprout show up, and as she could not resist mentioning, Slughorn brings up the rear. And then they basically, well, okay, not Slughorn, but Flitwick and Sprout like kind of come to Minerva's aid like immediately. And Flitwick has a line about like, you won't do any more murdering here. At Hogwarts. And then because Snape is outnumbered, he basically just like jumps out a window, and Minerva calls him a coward. And then Harry like throws the cloak off of him because he's like, he just jumped out the window like to his death.
Yeah.
And then
that's the sacking.
I guess. And then the other heads of houses, well, Sprout and Flitwick see Harry and they're like, whoa. And then Harry looks out the window because he wants to see, obviously, what happened to Snape. And then he sees that he is just flying like a giant bat over the grounds of Hogwarts. Minerva's like, I see he picked up some tricks from his master. And then Slughorn finally catches up to them and is like, oh, Harry, hello. Oh, Minerva, what's going on? What's happening? So McGonagall quickly kind of like brings them all up to speed, and then they're talking about setting up defenses and starting the evacuations for the students that aren't of age. And then basically they agree, like anyone in the order, anyone that was in Dumbledore's army that is of age, they'll help stay and protect the castle.
The evacuation is to use the Room of Requirement portrait, right?
That's what I thought, because they talked about the evacuation into the Hogshead.
Into the Hogshead. Okay, that's why I was confused why they were all going to the Great Hall, because I was like, okay, but then you're going to have to walk up to the
walk them all back.
corridor.
I know, just because it's the biggest area for everyone to meet, I guess. But that does seem counterintuitive if you're going to try and get them out through the Room of Requirement.
Unless they're like, hey, grab the portrait from the Room of Requirement and
put it in the
bring it down.
Bring it to the Great Hall. So they basically like, they're like, cool, we're gonna do this. We're gonna defend the castle. Sprout goes to get some of her like badass plants that we've learned about. Obviously, like the Devil's Snare is one of the ones that she mentions. What is the Venus Tentacular, whatever it's called? That one. Or no, Venus Flytrap. No, Venice. What is it? Something. Is it Venus Tentacular? I can't remember the exact
Tentacula?
word. Venomous, yeah. And then Flitwick just immediately from the open window starts casting like super complex enchantments, saying super complex incantations. And then Harry's like, hey, Flitwick, the diadem. Have you heard about this? And he's like, no. He's like, I know what you're talking about, but I have no idea where you would even like look for that. Like it's lost, basically. He's like, no one knows where to find it. So then Minerva basically calls out. Minerva's like, we're going to have to, if it comes to it, we're going to have to be prepared to fight to the death. And Slughorn is like, oh, goodness. And she's like, you know what? Figure out where you stand, bro. It's time for Slytherin House to make it clear, like, where they're going to stand in this fight. Because, come on. We've waited long enough. And yeah, of course, we know enough about Slughorn to know that he likes to just reap the benefits of not choosing a side, basically.
Aaron
So then
Burr,
right after
sir.
this... What? Aaron Burr. Yeah,
Aaron Burr.
Sir. Yeah. Filch comes up yelling about students in the corridors, students out of bed. And she's like, yeah, you idiot. They should be. So shut up. And then he's kind of like, oh, because obviously he didn't expect this from McGonagall. So then she's like, also, can you go get Peeves? So Peeves is going to be asked to help in some way. She also casts a spell to bring all the suits of armor, to transfigure all the suits of armor, like to be brought to life to protect the school and the students, which is really cool. And this part in the movie with the music, it always makes me cry. It always makes me cry because it's just something about that moment. I remember I've probably said this on the podcast before, so I apologize. But for the final movie, I went to see it with Alex Leachman, if you remember him, like randomly. I cried like from the beginning when the WB popped up until the very end. And like he liked Harry Potter, but he was not like a diehard fan like I was. And I'm sure that was so annoying for him. Like I'm
I'm sure.
So annoying. I think I did apologize at the end because I was like, I'm so sorry. But like, I couldn't help. It was literally like it's such an involuntary reaction that I just
I
was,
saw
like,
it in
crying the whole
Elkhart.
time. Why? With Eric?
Because we bought tickets so late that was like where we could get tickets for the premiere night at
Do you
midnight.
remember who did you go with?
Eric and my mom.
Oh, Eric and your mom. Okay, yeah. Yeah, I mean, that makes sense. I mean, yours makes more sense than mine. Adam, why would I go with Alex Leachman? Like, I think there were other people there. Like, it wasn't just us, but we were the only two that sat together, like, because it was so packed.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll never forget that moment because I was literally like, like weeping. So they as in Harry and Luna head back to the room of requirement, which is now packed. Harry like trips down the stairs because he's so like startled by how many people are in there. Basically, instead of having to go through everyone's names, it's like all of Dumbledore's army, including like students that have already graduated, the Hogwarts alumni, the Order of the Phoenix, and then like the Weasley family is in the Order of the Phoenix, so I don't really have to say that. But yeah, Dumbledore's army in the Order of the Phoenix, pretty much. That's who's there.
Yeah.
So, Harry kind of like walks up to mainly like the Weasleys, and then like Lupin is there as well. Lupin is there. Fleur is there with Bill, and then what's his name? Kingsley. So Harry walks up to Harry walks up to that little group. And Molly is trying to convince Ginny to go home, but she doesn't want to because her whole family is there. And she's like, I'm not going to just sit at home not knowing what's happening while all of you are here. And she like tries to look at Harry kind of for support, but he's like, he doesn't want her to be in danger either. And I'm like, I don't know why no one, we'll get to it in a second, but I don't know why no one else suggested what Lupin suggests. Because I was like, I don't know why no one else would suggest that in the first place though. Because it's like, that would be horrible that her entire family is there except her. Like, I'm not saying she should be in the fighting because yeah, she's not of age yet. So sure. But I think I would have been like, well, okay, just stay put then. Like, don't.
I just feel like this could have been a cool moment to not do your thing about being like, well, moms are this way.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah. I know she can't resist it, especially Molly in particular.
Especially Molly, yeah.
Person. So she's basically arguing with her mom about going back to being the only one that's going to be sent home when suddenly Percy comes through the portrait hole, trips through the portrait hole. And he's like, am I too late? Has it already happened? And then everyone just kind of like stands there and like stares at him. And there's like this very awkward silence. So then Fleur turns to Lupin and is like, oh, tell us how is little Teddy? Oh, I just want to hear about the baby.
This is so stupid.
And then Lupin is like so confused at first, but then he's like, oh, yes. Teddy, he's doing great. He's with Tonks at her mother's house right now. Yeah. And then he's like, I have a photo. I have a picture of him. So he like pulls out the picture and then shows the picture to Fleur, and they're like kind of trying to make it less awkward.
Yeah.
But then Percy ends up yelling. Yeah. And then Percy just ends up yelling that he was a fool and he was an idiot, which makes Lupin like jump. He's like with this little photo of the baby. And he's like, I was a fool, I was an idiot, I was stupid. And then Fred ends up kind of like helping him out by adding that he was like a ministry loving moron who abandoned his family, blah, 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 all that stuff. And then Percy basically is just like, yeah, Fred. I was.
Yeah.
And then Fred is like, well, he can't say fairer than that. And he puts his hand out to shake his hand. He's like, all right. And then Molly breaks down into tears and runs and gives him a hug. And then as Molly's hugging him, Percy looks at his father and he says, I'm sorry, Dad. I'm sorry. And then Arthur kind of like takes a minute for it to take it in. And then he like rushes forward and hugs him too. And then we learned that he, like, what, like, kind of brought him around. He had actually been trying to get out and, like, kind of come back to align with the order for a while now. And he was able to get in touch with Aberforth. But it was quite difficult for him to get out of the ministry because obviously now the ministry is, like, taken over by Death Eaters. So
right.
It's a little difficult for him to get out, but he made it. He found a way. And then George makes this great joke where he's like, well, you know, prefects need to be taking the lead in times like these, which is great. I was like, yeah, perfect. I love this. And then Ginny tries to go upstairs with them because, like, obviously the whole, like, argument has kind of been overshadowed by the reunion of Percy. But she's caught. So Lupin is the one that suggests that Ginny stays in the room of requirement instead, which Arthur approves of and, like, very, like, sternly instructs her to stay there. So she's like, okay. Because as we know, it's kind of Arthur's the fun dad. So when Arthur's, like, stern and serious, then all the kids take it seriously. But they don't take their mom seriously.
Correct.
Because she's a woman. So, yeah, it's just eye roll. So then Harry's like, has anyone seen Ron and Hermione? What's going on? And they're like, oh, they probably just went upstairs before us. But Ginny tells him that they mentioned heading towards a bathroom. And then as Harry goes up the stairs to look for them, he ends up getting pulled back into Voldemort's mind once again. And then that's when he realizes that he has arrived at the school gates.
He's at the gates.
With Nagini.
Tell the guards to open up the gate.
And then Nagini, the gates. Oh my God, wait. Now I'm imagining, for the first time in forever. And then Nagini's like, don't let them in. Don't let them see. Adam, it's so clear in my mind now. I can see it beat for beat. But yes, that's it. That's the end of the chapter.
It is. I think the Percy bit went on a little long. I'll be honest. I was like,
oh, really? Okay.
I thought it went on a little long. But yeah, it's so weird because I was like, we have to talk to the gray. We have to have a whole scene with the gray lady at some point.
I know.
And because the photo for the next chapter, or the illustration for the chapter, is the gray lady for the next one. And I was like, we're just gonna interrupt the Battle of Hogwarts just so Harry can talk to this dead bitch. Like, oh my God, it's so weird.
I feel Adam. Like, Adam, it's the final.
No, I understand he has to, but it's so crazy that she paces it so weird.
I know,
we have to interrupt the actual action to be like. And now a nice quiet moment.
Yeah. We don't even, at least in the movie, you go into the Chamber
with Rachel Ravenclaw or whatever the fuck her name is.
Rachel. I think it's, isn't it Helena? After Helga Hufflepuff, I think she named her. After her in a way. Because they were besties.
They were lesbian
Or maybe
lovers.
they were lovers. I was going to say, yeah. They were both in lavender marriages. What was I going to say before that, though? Oh, dang it. Yeah, in the movie, we at least go to the Chamber of Secrets, because in the book, we don't even do that. We just hear from Ron and Hermione that that's where they've been.
Yeah.
It's crazy. But yeah.
Also, so funny to be they went to a bathroom, and for Harry not to immediately be like, oh, the girl's bath. Immediately.
Obviously, Harry.
The only thing I would ever think is that the Chamber of Secrets, there was a whole
bathroom,
thing.
Yeah. Or I'd be like, there's no way they're in the prefect bath. There's no way they're taking a bath.
And now I'm about to have to believe that Ron has learned how to speak fucking parcel tongue, too. This book asks a lot of its readers in the last few chapters.
Again, it's like, that is ridiculous. What are we doing here?
All right. Well, that was great, Ari. Next week, we'll be reading chapter 31 called The Battle of Hogwarts. Let me look and see. I think we have...
Wild.
It's so crazy.
Yeah.
It feels great. I'll be honest, it feels real good.
We're getting there.
Okay, first of all, it's Rora. said on book 5, chapter 17, educational decree number 24.
Oh my God.
I think that the dorms would know if someone was trans just because magic is like that in like that TM. But it does bring up the question of where would non-binary or even gender fluid students where would they dorm? Which dorm would they have? It's a great question.
Whichever one they want. They felt most comfortable.
This author is not prepared to answer that question. I will let you know that right now.
Yeah.
Okay. Risu Squirrel. Okay. On book 5, chapter 36, the only one he ever feared. This is so funny because we just talked about this. Quote, what do we think about our protagonist using an unforgivable curse? And then their joke is, I watched Yami Yugi play the seal of Orichalcos in my youth. Nothing can hurt me anymore. That has to be something that I'm not getting the reference to. That's fine. But I can't believe that we have a comment on the first time Harry tries to use the Crucio curse. Okay. From Francis Gerber, they say on the Gringotts chapter, I'm turning 36 next week, so I think I'm slightly older. 5 stars as always. You two are the highlight of my week. I check multiple times on a Monday if the episode has dropped. Last week, Adam explained that sometimes he uploads to YouTube and forgets about Spotify, and finally it made sense why some weeks it drops later. I discovered your podcast during my first maternity leave and just started my second maternity leave. You have been a constant stress relief during motherhood. Loved you both. Congrats. Congrats on baby 2. Congrats on baby 2. Very exciting. I hope you're getting enough sleep. I can't hear you.
I said, what were we talking about being millennials or something? When she was talking about her age, like I was like, wow.
We were saying we're the same age, and Francis was I think I'm a little bit older.
You're a little bit older.
Okay. Also, Gringotts chapter, we have a bunch of comments. I laughed so hard at Adam's tour guides, I had to pause the video, and then when Ari dropped and Adam just looked around like, oop, I had to pause again when Ari came back because I couldn't hear y'all over laughing. On a serious note, I'm already sad we're approaching the end, so I restarted the pod.
Oh my gosh.
5 stars, of course. And then there's a bunch of agreement people saying that my tour guide impression was very funny.
I need to watch that part of the episode then, because I don't even, it's so crazy how I don't even remember this sometimes. Like I'll be like, what are they talking about? It all just leaves my brain as soon as we're done.
I did a bit because they say like when Hermione was pretending to be Bellatrix, she like is like pretending to show the guy that they were like, oh, he's foreign. So she was like touring him around Gringotts.
Oh yeah.
And so then I was like, oh, welcome.
But I dropped out, like I couldn't hear you. So then you had to shoot again.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't know what that part was referring to, though.
Oh, okay. I need to watch it.
Sophia Drenkard on the Wandmaker says the thing about the Fidelius charm, Bill said that they put it up after the trio got to the Shell Cottage because then they knew Ron's cover was up and the Weasleys were in danger. The real problem I have with this is that the whole plot of the entire book series falls apart when Bill claims that he himself is the secret keeper for his own home. Why the hell did James and Lily have to entrust their safety to the rat when they could have been secret keepers themselves? Annoys me so much.
Point.
5 stars.
Great point. Hello. Yeah.
Sophia, it's a good question.
Yeah.
We just got a comment. This is so crazy. What's happening? Lucy Durham commented on book 1, chapter 3, The Letters from No One, and said the first few chapters of Harry Potter are always very boring in the best way, though. Haha. Mariah commented on the final hiding place and said, I'm stepping away from the IP of Ms. Rowling as this pod wraps up. HB Anxious is the best goodbye to this world, by the way. I've been enchanted by you both from the beginning. Your humor gets me every time. 5 stars only as always. Humbly suggesting you look into watching the Dimension 20 series Misfits and Magic, which pokes fun at this wizarding world and imagines how it could be better. It's on Dropout and season 1 is only 4 episodes. From another anxious millennial queer Hoosier.
Wow, our target audience.
Wow. Our exact demo.
Yeah, I've never even heard of that show. Wow.
Yeah, I've never heard of it either. I'll have to look it up later. We have 2 more comments, and then I swear to God, we're done. Everybody's been commenting. It's crazy. Okay. Alexandra said on the final hiding place, apparently J.K. Rowling came up with the most heinous act a person could do and created a ritual around the Horcrux beyond just unaliving somebody. I think her editor made her take it out because it was so gruesome. People have theories online about what it might be. As for me, if you think about the ritual it took for Voldemort to be brought back to life in book 4, it might give you some clue on how terrible the ritual for making Horcruxes is. But I also like Ari's theory.
Oh, I don't even remember what my theory was now.
Don't know what your theory was either.
I don't
also,
remember.
Emma Watson just released an interview on Jay Shetty's podcast. It's 2.5 hours long, but if you don't have time, the last 25 minutes, she talks about her relationship with J.K. Rowling. It's really interesting. I thought you guys might like it. I did hear about this. I have not watched the interview.
I know. I do want to watch it because I love Emma.
I do want to watch it. I saw that already Joe Rowling was being really snarky about it, which is just... It's just very unfortunate because it seems that Emma gave her a bunch of grace that at this point she probably doesn't deserve.
Yeah, which is what people said, that people were a little critical of Emma for that they were like, she gave her too much grace, which Adam and I talked about off pod, but I was like, she just doesn't want this to be the conversation every time she does an appearance. She's trying to just be like, can we just move past it? Like, I have happy memories with this woman, and I just want to move on with my life. So I think she's trying to do that in the most graceful way. Yes, it's very complicated. And she's made it clear where she stands, but obviously there are positive memories that she has with that woman that obviously are tainted now. So she's just trying to not let it be the main point of conversation every time she goes on to a podcast. Or an interview or whatever.
Our final comment is from Book 6, Chapter 6, Draco's Detour. And they say, yes, I immediately locked the door behind me because once I didn't, when they close it, once I didn't deadbolt it and woke up to the door slightly ajar and my creepy neighbor peeking in. And I happened to be topless at the time.
Oh my God.
Ironically, I don't bother locking it when I go to work, but Mr. Creepy doesn't live here anymore. Ooh. I knew you'd not like that one.
Oh my gosh, that's literally my worst nightmare. I'm always afraid I'm going to see some stranger peeking in on me like that. That's in her own apartment. She always latches the door behind her. What was she talking about? Her own house?
Yeah.
Or apartment. Yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah.
What the hell?
Creepy neighbor.
Please elaborate on the when you woke up and looked at him, was he just I was sorry, I was worried because your door is open. I just am always what do people say to think they can get out of something like that? What a creep. What is wrong with you?
They don't have shame. They don't have that. They do not feel that.
Yeah.
So
that's
it
a part of it for them.
Yeah. Yeah, or that.
I'm so sorry that happened to you. It's horrifying. Jesus. I'm glad he doesn't live there anymore.
Well, thank you all for writing all of those comments across an entire series of books. We love hearing what you guys think. Wow. You can find the podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you find your podcasts, as well as video versions on the Ampliverse YouTube channel and Spotify. As always, don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe so we can get a perfect Newt score. 5 stars only, or else you'll have... You'll have to have Harry do the Crucio curse on you, mama.
Yeah, there we go.
Don't forget to follow us on Instagram at HPAnxious or YouTube at The Ampliverse. We are hosted on Spotify for podcasters, so thank you to them and are a proud member of The Ampliverse. Check them out at theampliverse.com. Thanks, Ari.
Thank you, Adam.
And as always...
Protego Horribilis. Protego Horribilis.